Hey guys, Ari here, and we're back with another Bricklaying vlog. We're using the Headcam today again. Just trying to show a bit more of the build, a bit of my day in the life of a bricklayer in a sense. When I'm working solo, this is a solo day, and the last one that I should be doing for a while. It's currently Friday. This footage what you're watching today is Thursday. We lost Friday today. Silos are empty. We're due a delivery the previous week, and then we were going to be due a delivery on the Wednesday, and they didn't fill up the right silo, so we're now hopefully going to be having more delivered today. I've rang up once and he said he didn't think it had arrived, but it could have arrived later on in the day. Luckily, I've got two options on for Monday. I can either go continue this wall, which I'm building today, which I've got a good 2 days on now since I didn't work Friday, or I can start another wall. Well, finish another wall that needs quite a few course on it and some topping off, which I don't want to do, to be quite honest. But I've been promised a double garage and a big boundary wall on another site, which isn't Redrow, which I do prefer the different type of bricks that it is, and offer that to myself. So I've been promised that, but so I said I would do it if there is sufficient sufficient measure on it, and we can make a bit of money. So I'm gonna get here early on the Monday and check one of the silos have been filled, and if that isn't the case, I'm gonna make it my personal mission to get here dead early on the Monday, and I'll tell the lad to come to this site for about 8 o'clock. I might even tell him to come a little bit later just to make sure, and then he can get inducted and then I can crack on building some corners. If this site has got mortar, but if not, I can check, and if it hasn't got any mortar, we can go to the other one. I can drive to the other job. It's about probably about another 20 minutes away from this site, so I could just drive 20 minutes to the other job. It would be a bit shit, to be quite honest, because I don't want to do that. I want to finish this first, to be quite honest, but we'll see what the day brings. It is an option. I'm not one of these for bouncing around jobs. It's a fucking ball ache. I've been forced to with the circumstance. Obviously working solo, you do get the shit end of the stick a lot of the time. I'm not gonna lie, that's it's one of them things you do get. Even this that I'm posting here, these walls, they're not very big panels. They've got fucking loads of pillars in. They're on a squint. They're not mint drops. Like today in this video, I'll lay about 600 bricks. Someone might say, "Oh, that's fucking fantastic. You'll earn a good wage," and it's like, yeah, I will, but that's fucking. I could earn a lot more on a good stretch of work, loaded out in front. Having a plot fully loaded. Something. Walls, garages to drop onto in between scaffold lifts. Instead of dropping tools all the time and moving to different sites to pick a bit of wall up here, a bit of wall up there. This wall, there's 2 panels of it. I can't do the third panel, and the third panel would be a ball ache anyway, so it's not like I'm getting a week of walls and then a week of this and a week of that. I'm getting a day or two here, a day or two there, so it is it is a bit of a ball ache. The setup I am, as its merits, as its pros, it also has a big cons, so got to bear that in mind if you're watching these videos and you think you'd like to go one-on-one. There's a big drawbacks to it, but if you can learn to work around them like I have, you do all right. You do good out of it. And this is just for instance what I'm doing today. This is what I'm having to do every time I'm starting some of these awkward walls or something that isn't just square boxes with 4 corners. It's just, this is what I'm having to do. A lot of freehand work, and I'm having to get them down quick, considering it's freehand, and they want, obviously they want it neat, want it all plumb, level, gauge level, plumb, etc, and it's not always easy. So this leads us into the topic I'm going to talk about today's video. It's a bit of a longer video. I've got all the 48 minutes footage here, going to talk about how long to work, how long you should be working, how many days a week should you work. I'm going to talk about, obstacles getting in your way on a day-to-day basis on building sites. Bricklaying is a delicate trade, the weather's going to play massive factors in delaying you, stopping you earning money, stopping your days at work. My mate, we're keeping track. He's lost over 25 days of 25 work days this year so far, and we're only in July. So that just gives you an idea of how much time we're losing. That's over a month. That's 5 weeks, 5 working weeks already is lost, unpaid. So this is why I'm taking a bit of a different approach now, and I'm trying to work, as long as I can in a day, 5 days a week. Start 7:30, finish at 4:30. It might not seem a long day to some people, but 7:30 or 4:00 is 9 hours. And we're now lunch break in there, so that's 8 hours working, an hour lunch. It might seem, fairly long hours when it comes to, on sites, on, bricklaying, but there's going to be plenty of days where we're working 3 days a week, 2 days a week, 4 days a week. Like this week we lost Monday, wash out, and then we've lost Friday, so that's 3 days this week, and I was doing remedials for 2 of those days, and then I've only I was finishing that garage off, which was a bit of a shit end of the stick job. A day of remedials, but not really even a full day, because I had to break off for an hour while the safety man was there, and then I was on this for a day. So you can see the disparity of how we work some weeks, and it's difficult. I'm still at a good wage. I've earned better than day work for 3 days of work, but it's something that's going to stop you on a regular basis. So if you want to increase your chances of earning money, you've got to really strike while the poker is hot. I think that's how the saying goes. Strike while it's fucking hot or something. Fuck knows. I'm not a fucking English language specialist. Just make hay while the sun shines, in a sense. It's one of the things, I've not always been a fan of that mentality, but as I get older, and I've had more years in the trade, and I've gone through more summers and more winters, you can really see really see how the saying is beneficial. This will stop. This basically stops it. So when you come against stuff that's going to stop you, like a hard stop, like no motor, like no forklift driver, like no scaffold lift, or bad weather, you've put everything in, for them days you can work, and then you can enjoy your days off. This is the thing. Like myself this week, lost 2 days of work. Not happy about it, but I look over it, and I think there's nothing I could have done. There's no, it was out of my control, and I'm full of cold. I can't take any sick days off. We don't get paid to be ill. We're forced to work through thick and thin, really. If we're feeling good, we've got to work. If we're feeling shit, we've also got to work. So this is why I'm sort of cherishing the good days now. On the days I'm getting 6, 7, 8, 900 bricks laid, they're going to be few and far between when we come close to winter. There is some perks in winter. You don't have to joint up straight away. You can, joint up a good 2 or 3 hours later after you've laid your bricks. I find the bricks easier to lay in winter a lot of the time. They're easier to press to the line. You can do more, run bigger long flanks in without it going off. I like to set more profiles up in winter. I can lay faster because of the cool weather. I have to keep myself warm, so I've got to work faster. Everything really feels a little bit easier in winter. Like myself in winter, I wear leggings, thermal leggings and shorts still. I still wear shorts all year round basically. And then I wear my thermal under long sleeve t-shirt, either a long sleeve t-shirt or a thermal and a long sleeve t-shirt. So I try and keep as like sort of tight clothing as possible, and then that makes it so, you know, you don't feel weighed down and bulky, and you're still warm and you can still move and work. And I find in winter I lose more weight working. In summer I tend to, you know, drink a bit too much. I tend to eat a bit too much. You're not working as fast. You're not burning as many calories. Whereas in winter you can really it really takes your body a lot of energy to keep it cool, keep it warm. So that's definitely something that, you know, I'm going to be changing my mentality in the coming years. You know, it takes a while. You know, first of all, I'm starting to get there early now, earlier and earlier, trying to work towards setting profiles up, and then, you know, finishing at a standard time around 4:04. I was finishing earlier for a stretch, but I'm going to sort of give it all I've got, really, a lot of the days. Especially, you know, I'm going to really try and make it work with this new body. I've had, you know, I'm going to try get him to just get everything where I want it, you know, basically teach him right and just really give it a good go, because this is the first time I've had a new labourer in 3 years. So my last two before my old man, they were working all right. There was a few different factors, but this time I'm going to make it fucking really work. I'm going to try and make it really work. Obviously, if you don't want to do it, you don't want to do it, but I'm going to really try and make it work with this next attempt at a gang. Obviously not wanting to go any bigger than 3, so just going to be me, labourer, so that's 2, and then maybe an apprentice, so that's the biggest I'm going to be. But, you know, I really want to, you know, have a go and get it to where I'm not having to be lifting and carrying. I don't want to be carrying at all, so I just want to be picking the brick up once to lay it, and that's it. Picking the mortar up once to lay it. I don't want to be, you know, doing any excess labouring. You know, at the beginning it's going to be a bit of some getting used to, you know, learning him how I work and everything like that. But once we get everything else ironed out, should be easy enough. It's just something that, you know, my mate, one of my best mates, he recently got his mate labouring on him, and he said it's fucking transformed how he works. You know, it's made it fucking miles easier. Just not having to, you know, there used to be 2 brickies labouring on each other, you know, and now they've got a labourer, and it makes a tremendous difference, he were telling me. And I said, you know, obviously me having my old man for the last few years, it does make a big difference, but even having someone, you know, a step, you know, just a bit of a step up from someone just giving you a hand to someone actually properly looking after you you know, it makes your day go a lot easier. I can tell you that there's days where I haven't had to touch any gear and the old man sorted me out. It's been very few and far between, but there's been a couple of days he's done it, and I've got, you know, at minimum 700, maximum, you know, almost up to a grand, 1,000 worth of bricks. Day I hit 950. You know, I got my own mortar that day, but imagine if I didn't have to get my own mortar, how many more bricks I'd have laid. I couldn't have laid many more bricks because I'd finished the wall, but that's not the point. How easier the day could go. So this is the power of having a good labourer. It'll make you money at the end of the day, and also you'll be, you know, especially if you're paying him a good wage, you know, it's helping them as well. It's, you know, they've got a good wage for a good day's work, and you know, and to not require any skill. That's the biggest thing. That's the biggest appeal of labouring on bricklayers. In this climate now, you can get a good wage every week. You don't need any qualifications other than a CSCS card saying you're a labourer, and you know, it helps them out, and it helps us tremendously as bricklayers. So yeah, that's what we're doing. I'm going to be, you know, working a bit harder. Obviously training's completely took a back seat now. I do a bit of dumbbell work in the bedroom, do a bit of arms and shoulders, really, sort of neglecting the legs really. I'm just trying to drop overall mass, and even if that means losing a bit of muscle, I'm just trying to drop excess weight now, just sort of optimise myself a bit more for bricklaying, rather than powerlifting, because the federations are a little bit, little bit gone mad on this COVID, you know, a little bit woke, a little bit, it's just a bit mad, so not really going to be competing anytime soon until they straighten their act together when it comes to masks and all that shit, so that's not going to be a focus. I've got obviously the retaining wall to build again. That's took a back seat obviously since the hot weather and our youngin's birthday. We've been focusing on that, getting him everything he needs and everything he wants, should I say, spoiling him, and then now we can focus. I can focus now. I ain't got to worry about the old man crippling himself anymore working with me. You know, he's going to do an odd day or two when we need him, but I try not to. I want him to recover. I want him to try heal his hip best he can, and then we can progress from there. Talking a bit about the footage on screen here, you know, it's something I neglected talking about actually, but you can see I'm building the pillar. If you can see, I'm building the brick between, I'm basing obviously the two bricks that are going, you know, long ways there, you know, I'm building them first, and then I'm just dropping my two outside centre bricks in, and I do them frog down. The reason why is so the mortar has somewhere to go and doesn't spread the two other plumb points I've just plumbed. This isn't so much of an issue when you're laying frog up with profiles, but when we haven't got any profiles on, you want to lay your centre bricks frog down just so the mortar has somewhere to travel, isn't going to squeeze out the sides and make your pillar bow. So it's a good tip, you know. Some guys will go, oh, you're laying it wrong way around, but I said you've got to do what's easiest and what's most practical. An odd brick frog down isn't going to make a difference to the wall. As long as you make sure you put, you know, frog up on top of that one the next course, and make sure inspector isn't looking at you, you'll be all right. Obviously, you don't really get NHBC inspectors for walls. I've never seen one inspect one yet. So that is obviously a plus side, and it's something, you know, you just pick up little tips like the last brick you're putting into a wall. If the mortar's getting stiff, flick the brick over, do a frog down brick just to get the brick down easier. Little alterations to your methods, you know, makes a big difference. Like to me here, obviously, laying freehand here, tailing out this pillar. Obviously, I'm laying all my bricks before leveling them, but I'm just trying to look for that head joint, making sure that head joint's flush every time, you know, all the way along. And then we're getting to the point where we're checking our bed joints as well, making sure they look consistent, 10mm, consistent 8mm if we're squeezing down a little bit. Then we put the level on, and we should be somewhere near plumb. For myself, I'm, you know, I think while building this, I was always trying to tap my bricks down, but it was working pretty good. I'm still plumbing the corners at each side, at each end of the tail out. I could range down to my first course, but I find it more effective doing it like this. I find it builds a truer corner, takes, you know, an extra, you know, 5 seconds to plumb the fucking end tail out bit of your corner. You can plumb your rack back and it just makes a better job in general. So yeah. So that's it, guys. I've not put any background music in the back of me speaking so far. You've just heard me droning on, but we're going to listen to a bit of background music for a bit. You can see me build the rest of this, and then I'm going to cut back in towards the end of the video and talk a little bit about the about the build.
Somehow I woke up out in Beverly, fucked up, smelling like that bourbon. How'd I end up alone? I'm not certain. Yeah, the girls impolite in the club every night. That's how it goes when you Hollywood perfect. Hollywood perfect. That's how it goes when you Hollywood perfect. Ain't got no place to call my own. Feels like I'm better off alone. So sad inside and hopeless. These Hollywood hoes never notice. Can't get back on. You're gone, girl, I miss you. Can't get back on. You're gone, girl, I miss you. Somehow I woke up out in Beverly, fucked up, smelling like that bourbon. How'd I end up alone? I'm not certain. Yeah, the girls impolite in the club every night. That's how it goes when you Hollywood perfect. Hollywood perfect. That's how it goes when you Hollywood perfect. Woke up out in Beverly, fucked up, smelling like that bourbon. How'd I end up alone? I'm not certain. Yeah, the girls impolite in the club every night. Somehow I woke up out in Beverly, fucked up, smelling like that bourbon. How'd I end up alone? I'm not certain. Yeah, the girls impolite in the club every night. That's how it goes when you're Hollywood perfect. Perfect.
So we're back after that bit of music. I know a lot of guys who do the longer form videos on YouTube for the bricklaying or even just any sort of DIY or joinery or any sort of trade tend to put like a lot of music in the videos. I'm a big fan of the Tricky Bricky. Oh yeah, one of my favourite YouTubers, to be quite honest. Has a lot of good songs. I'm trying to have a look actually, getting some better music. DMCA, DR digital rights something, fucking free music, so it's copyright free, royalty free. If anyone's got any knows any libraries of music that's ideal for content creators, let us know. I could probably find out pretty easily. I've a bit, when you get using a certain type of music, I've been using just anything I can find on iTunes store, really, that I can use in my videos on iMovie, since I'm always recording through, you're editing through the iPhone, and then I'm obviously recording with the GoPro now, so the videos are going to get a bit more longer form. They do take a bit more work to make, obviously, with them being a bit longer. I'm having to do the voiceovers in 2 sections, and also with taking a little bit longer. I get broke off with Young'un and stuff now and again. It takes a good couple hours, because I got asked if I were doing why I do these YouTube videos of a day by a lad on site or no. I've always sort of wanted to do these YouTube videos. I tried my hand doing a bit of gaming videos. I'm a big avid gamer, but as you get older and kids come into picture, and you just don't have as much time for stuff, don't have as much time for your hobbies. When you're working 8-9 hours a day, or out the house 8-9 hours. I know we're not always on trial that amount of time, but we're out the house that day, and you're on price, putting some graft in. It's hard to have any energy to do anything else. So us as bricklayers, we've got to be super fit. We don't have much. I used to obviously go to the gym, and I've been lifting weights for 10 years, but it's becoming harder and harder as I'm getting older to be able to recover and do that sort of stuff, and even other hobbies like playing a sport and stuff, it becomes out of the question midweek. So I do these videos I do have a passion for editing videos. I do have a passion for recording stuff. I think the idea, after seeing what other guys on YouTube making videos, I'm trying to sort of make it less about myself and more about the video side of it, of the showcasing the trade and showcasing the different techniques. And that's what I can admire a lot about Rodin Builds' videos. He does a lot of big edits. He doesn't obviously show you the site side of things a lot of the time. I don't think he's got a video of him on site from what I know of. But his quality that he puts the videos up with, the editing and the After Effects I think he uses, and the quality of his camera. I think he uses a proper DSLR, or I'm not sure. I don't think he uses a GoPro. I'm not sure, but the quality is fantastic. So I've always been a fan of cameras in general, and just some of the quality you can do with some cinematography, and it just I'll never be. I've been laying bricks 11 years, and I don't think I'm ever going to stop anytime soon. But there's always things you're passionate about that you wouldn't necessarily like to do as a job. Like, I wouldn't like to be a photographer as a job. I think it was fucking dead boring, just wandering around taking pictures of people. But I love to do camera work and photography in my spare time, because I think, it's cool, I can do this. And it's one of them things, whereas if you did it as a job, it wouldn't be fun anymore. And this is the reason why I do these videos for YouTube, not for the hopes of making serious money out of it, or making so many thousands a week or so many thousands a month or whatever. It's at the end of the day, we're watching bricklaying videos here. There isn't that many bricklayers in the world. There isn't that many tradesmen. We're not on this platform to make it fucking superstardom. It's just we do it because we enjoy this job. We like to help people, and this is a way of helping people where you've got to want to help people at the end of the day, because you've taken time out of your on a night to make videos to just give people little tips. And it's a bit like being a full-time mentor to the virtual apprentices online, guys who are watching to be aspiring bricklayers, or because it's a big Stone Age fucking dinosaur mentality when it comes to bricklaying, and how the trade's changing and stuff like that, and people having different ideas about what bricklayers should be, what gangs should be like, how it should all be done. And there shouldn't be just one way of how, there shouldn't be just one way it should be. there should be as many. You can lay bricks as how you want. You can do this YouTube platform shows people there's loads of ways of doing it, and there's loads of ways of working. There's loads of ways of going about things, and it enlightens people, and it enlightens me every time watching a new video about new methods, new ways of doing stuff, and to beat back this fucking Stone Age mentality in the building trade. And it is because the trade is comprised of tons of old blokes, because there isn't a lot of young guys getting into it. And I'm probably the youngest bricklayer I know, at 26-year-old now. There's I don't know many 26-year-old bricklayers, but I know tons of 40-year-old bricklayers and tons of 50-year-old bricklayers. It's that's the difference. We're missing generations, and hopefully if a couple of people come across the videos, a couple of guys my age or younger come across the videos and makes them want to be a bricklayer, then I've done a bit of a service to the industry in a sense. And hopefully as time goes on, the industry will change a little bit with the times. You know what I mean? People start getting treated better. In general, if bricklayers were treated as joiners, it'd be a different world. But we don't get treated like joiners. Joiners, a lot of trades get treated better than bricklayers. A lot of them, more or less all trades get treated better than bricklayers. So that's hopefully we can make that. We can make a bit of a change, a bit of a step forward. Anyway, well, apart from that, we're getting to the top of this this pillar or pier, as a lot of guys call it. I've never heard the word pier been said ever since before I was on YouTube. That's the first time I ever heard someone call it a pier. But I suppose it's the type of the area I come from. Get towards the top of this rack. I think I work up until I run out of mortar. That's how I tend to work it when I'm solo. Till I run out of mortar on the boards, just keep going. Even at the moment, obviously the hot weather, you have to sometimes stop and joint midway through. But this mortar was getting wetter as time went on. I don't know what was going on with the silos, but it was ideal. It was ideal. You could complain, that it turns to piss after a bit, but if you use it quick enough, and you don't, you just alter the way you lay. If your mortar starts wetting itself up a little bit and the water starts rising up in the mortar, just convert from doing a pick and dip to a long spread, or doing, going from putting grooves into no grooves. So, this is, if you're laying traditional, there's all different ways to alter the way you work. Like I've been liking doing some traditional on the backside of boundary walls now. I do me the technique that I like to call the front tip pick and dip, where you spread for 2 bricks, and as if you were going to do a pick and dip, and then you cut off the front side and use that little front side you've cut off as you're leading your trowel back from your first spread, and you tip the brick, press your brick down, and away you go. I've still not perfected it, but it is a lot more effective than to fill the joint on the back side, where you can't quite get your hand in to slide the brick back and get a nice perp every time. I've seen some videos, some comments on the pick and dip music video I made, where they're just with the music, about people saying my joints are empty and stuff. It's just the circumstance. I'm laying these bricks, they're dead dry, and a lot of the time when you're trying to tighten your perps up, like this wall I set out, the perps were I think they were nice 10mm, but this pack of bricks was probably a bigger. Bricks were coming a bit big, so all the perps were tight. So it's not ideal for getting a full joint when your perps are tight on pick and dip. They can seem a little bit holy, and it's just circumstance. When your bricks are a bit wetter, they tend to pick and dip better. Your mortar is pick and dip's better when it's a bit stiffer and your bricks are a bit wetter. It's all circumstantial. That's why you'll see certain guys only using the pick and dip in certain situations. Do you know what I mean? So it's one of them. It's a newer way of laying bricks, than the majority in the UK, but it's been around for fucking hundreds of years, and probably the first people who laid bricks laid it in a pick and dip style. So so this is me just jointing up. I'm just looking at the comments coming through on YouTube. I don't see them all because YouTube gets rid of what it deems offensive or not to guidelines or harassment. So I'll see the comments for a split second, and then I have to I'll either see them or they'll stay on the video. To be honest, YouTube does a good job of getting rid of all the comments that I don't want to see. But a few slip through. People leave fucking derogatory, just arsehole comments in the sense, they don't serve a purpose. So if I see them in comment section, you're leaving just fucking hateful shit, and shit that you can be classed as slander, you just get rid of it. You can fucking fuck it off, because I'll just delete any comments that I think they're just out of order. Really, they're not serving a purpose. And then if I can see who's commented multiple times on what videos, and if I click on your channel and you've been leaving multiple just bollocks hateful comments, I'll just block you. So you can still watch the videos, you just can't comment on them. So it's you can quit being an armchair bricklayer and take it piss out of people, because it's if to be honest, if there was fucking less of it on YouTube, there'd be more people making videos. And I tell you what, there's some guys that I've seen on site, and I tell you what, I bet if more people got into making videos, you'd probably get some of the better advice out there from some of the better bricklayers if actually people started putting themselves out there. But I don't blame anyone for not doing it, because you get some right hateful comments down again. So my favourite one actually, it's not really hateful, it's comical. Sometimes I got a comment saying my brickwork looks like it's been shot by a blunderbuss, like by a shotgun buckshot. It's because my perps have got holes in, but at the end of the day, I like doing it like that. And you might say that perps aren't full or whatever, but it's the way I like to do them. And I tell you what, it's just as strong, whether the first fucking few millimeters of gobbo isn't filled on the face, it's in there, and I'm happy with it. So that's it. That's me just jointing up. If you can see me here, I'm not jointing where the tie wires are. I've left tie wires on this pillar because I didn't make an expansion, because I've already got one. I left tie wires out just to join the next wall to this, because this wall's going to carry on later on in many months to come, when they put some more houses, dig some more footings. So hopefully I'll be doing that. I'm back on this wall Monday. Obviously I mentioned that we lost time with the silos not being filled. So obviously I didn't get anything done today. So hopefully the silos are filled. I checked at about 1 o'clock and they haven't been filled, but hopefully they'll be filled when we get there. They might come on a Saturday, I don't know, but probably not. I'll see what happens. And push comes to shove, I've got a fallback job I can go to, and if I don't want to mess the lad around too much, but make sure we've got a day's work in front of us all times. And one of my big tactics as well, this is something I want to talk about before the video ends. It's about working one-on-one. People say, how do you work it? Do you pay them a set wage a day? And that's what I like to. Set wage a day, whatever you're paying them, set wage every day. It don't matter what you get done or what you don't get done, they get their set wage. If you worked all day, they get the wage. And I find that better than doing any sort of splits or anything like that. I just find it works better. And the one thing you can do, if one day you haven't done as much as you like, say it gets to 3:30 and you're thinking, I'm not going to be covering a decent wage today, send the labourer home, get him to load out, make sure he's been all loading out in front of you throughout the whole day. You say, get your set off, mate, then you crack on, make sure you got fucking half a tub of gobbo, blast a few hundred more bricks in, stay till 5, cover your fucking wage, get a good wage in, and that way you're not putting any unnecessary stress on the labourer, because it's not his fault you haven't laid enough bricks. A lot of the time it can be just the work. So yeah, anyway guys, thanks all for watching. That's the footage for today. It's a bit of a longer video. I want to go into more details about one-on-one strategies, but I could do that in later videos. Anyway guys, thank you very much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell to get notified, and let's get to 1,000. Let's smash that. Let's get some 4 figures up in here. Right, thank you very much, and I will see you guys in the next video tomorrow.